episode of Roma Custom Bike, we'll figure out how to set up a home shop with a very low budget. Hi everybody, I'm Custom Chaz and finally I managed to put together the episode everybody has been requesting. How did I set up my shop on a super low budget? We'll check out some tools, the powder coating system and my modified CNC machine. We'll then wrap up the episode with the second and final part of the interview with Cuttler from Barnstorm Cycle in Spencer, Massachusetts. But let's start from the basic. The work area. It has to be comfortable and spacious. And as you can see here, I have all my tools within reach. The wrenches, the pliers, the screwdrivers and everything. But let's talk about some more unusual tools. The ones needed for metal shaping. From the easy stuff like brackets and support to the more elaborate jobs like shaping a gas tank from scratch. My solution for a very inexpensive brake is to use a very thick piece of steel left over from a construction site, as you can see, as the top of my bench. I place the piece to bend on top of it and secure it with a square piece of tubing and a couple of vices. Now, with a little bit of strength and the help of a hammer, we can bend the part, no problem. While we're talking about hammers, here's the kit of bodywork hammers from Eastwood, along with the hand handles, an assortment of them, and it's very useful and totally inexpensive to repair sheet metal, remove dents on, and all around convincing metal to go where we want it to go. This, on the other hand, is a metal forming hammer used with a sandbag. It's the best way to convince all those unruly metal molecules to go where we want them to go. For more complex jobs, I just got this shrinker and stretcher kit. This is useful to create compound curves. Let's say I want to raise the edge of a flat piece of metal like this. I place the edge inside, I force slightly with the lever, and as you can see, the edge starts automatically bending upwards. In case you make a mistake, you can always use the stretcher to fix it up. With this tool and eventually an English wheel, which we're gonna build very soon, you can make pretty much any kind of shape. But let's get to the powder coating system. For detailed info on the process, you can see the home shop powder coating episode, it's number 5, but in short, it works by electromagnetically attracting the paint particles to the parts to be painted. Along with the powder though, this process tends to attract all sorts of dust, fuss buggers and all kind of crap that is definitely going to ruin the paint job. So that's why cleanliness, it's a must. Since it would be impossible to keep the whole shop clean at all time, I decided to build a little booth where it would be easier to keep things uncontaminated. The build was very easy, a bunch of particle board to make the box and some plastic sheeting to make the cleaning process easier. The upper 2x2 is perfect to hang parts from, and the old TV spinner is a very practical way of spinning parts that I'll be painting by resting on the tray. Good lighting is also a key to preventive spotting of coating problems. Once the paint is magnetically attached to the part, it needs to go in the oven to cure. An old kitchen oven works very good for small parts, but then I decided to build my own to accommodate for larger parts like rims or tanks. After lots of brainstorming, I decided to use the Lego approach. I built a series of flat panels that then I assembled for the final box-like structure. To build each panel, I made a frame with some drywall C-shaped keels and closed the bottom side with some sheet metal and some rivets. Then I packed the inside with some roofing rock wool and then closed the top with more sheet metal and more rivets. Once I had 6 of these panels, I assembled them to form the box. Then I placed 2 1.5 kilowatt resistors, usually used for conventional ovens that I bought on eBay, inside. I added an additional 1.2 kilowatt resistor to the back of the oven for good measure, but I rarely use it. A couple of hinges and some hook secured the front panel, sealed by a gasket bought by the roll on eBay. For the window, I used some regular glass, and as you can see, it's already cracked. But tempered glass is very expensive, and as long as it holds, it'll be cool this way. This hole in the front panel allows me to stick the head of the thermometer right into the opening without having to open the entire door, losing a lot of heat in the process. The last 2 accessories I've installed are the thermostat and a fan, both for conventional oven and bought on eBay. So, this is my powder coating system. Was not easy to put it together, but it's totally worth doing, cause the results are factory good. Now, let's talk about my CNC machine. I bought this CNC used from a friend. It was designed to work on wood, but with a little bit of modification, I now manage to use it on metals. The first relevant modification is the base plate. Carved by the machine itself, guarantees a perfect perpendicular alignment of the stock in relation to the end mill. The second and most important modification is the implementation of the liquid cooling and lubrication system. This alone has increased about 10 times both the speed of work and the longevity of the end mills. If you go buy all the necessary parts in the store, you'll spend about 1,000 euros, but I managed to build it for under 100 euros. That's right. The cart is very easy and pretty self-explanatory. All it is a box on wheels with a plexiglass front panel, very useful to reduce the spilling and the noise. I coated the inside of the box with a liquid sealant usually used in bathrooms to waterproof it. The pump delivers the clean emulsion right to the top of the router, where it's shot directly onto the end mill, cooling it, lubricating it, as well as removing the chips from the path. The thing I like the most about this system is the reservoir and filtration piece. I made it out of a cookie jar, a PVC pipe, and some metal mesh. The emulsion loaded with chips comes in from the top and goes inside the jar. Inside of it there is the PVC pipe that has been drilled with holes inside and covered with a metal mesh that will stop the chips from entering the pipe. Inside of it I put a hose with an additional filter that then goes to the pump. The mesh stops the chips from entering the inside of the pipe where a suction hose is placed. The hose is run by a membrane type pump, usually used for running showers in boats. I chose this type of pumps first of all because it doesn't need to be primed, and secondly because it costs only 30 euros. So this is some of my homemade equipment. If you have any question regarding any of the tools we've talked about in this episode, do not hesitate to post a comment on YouTube and I'll try to answer as soon as possible. But now, it has come the time for the second and final part of the interview with Jay Cuttler of Barnstorm Cycles in Spencer, Massachusetts.
This is also another bike that we built for a customer. He actually brought in some of the components of the motorcycle to us. We kind of made it all work. It was kind of a hodgepodge of things that never were meant to go together. So we started off with the frame and the front end. So I had to do a lot of heavy modification to the front end to make it one, strong enough for the weight of this particular motorcycle and also to fit the aesthetics of the bike. So all the side plating that you see on the front end, that was all added to both reinforce it and make it kind of fit stylistically with the motorcycle. The leaf spring were a lot longer, shorten those way up. Did a couple of weird things with this. It's an air ride suspension system, and it also doubles as the kickstand. So what that means is that when the air is out of the suspension, the frame is resting on the ground, so there's no actual kickstand on the motorcycle. The left side tank is gasoline and the right side tank is oil, which isn't a new idea, but we thought it would be kind of neat for this particular build, and we ran all the lines exposed to just kind of emphasize the function of what's going on, so people kind of clued into it. Basically what he wanted is some kind of low, lean, mean looking, kind of rat rod-ish motorcycle. Another interesting thing about this bike is the rear wheel has got a Buell perimeter brake on it. It's really clean, it's really compact. You don't even really notice it's on there. And what that also does is the brake's on the left-hand side of the bike, so the high side of the motorcycle is super clean and wide open. So
you were telling me earlier that this is all being hand fabricated, including the frame, which has been designed by you and built.
Correct. We
to specs.
We have a frame company that we work with who builds frames for us, because in the States you need an MSO with all frames. Fantastic.
What are some of the features on this bike?
The motor is an 1984 shell head motor, which we actually completely rebuilt. We built a lot of the components, or again modified a lot of the components. The handlebars, we made the handlebars. They're all stainless steel polished with an integrated gauge mount. The headlight is a side mount bait style headlight, but the headlight ears are stainless steel that we made in house. And the pipes, so did that. The gas tanks, hand fabricated. The seat is made specifically for the bike. The fenders were fender blanks that we've trimmed to fit and custom mounted and everything like that.
Well, Jake, thank you very much for having us here.
Thank you.
We'll see you again on Roma Custom Bike. This is Custom Chaz reporting from Spencer, Massachusetts. This last bike might be a little bit undrivable in Roman traffic, but damn, it was nice. So this is it for this episode of Roma Custom Bike. I'd like to remind you to click the like button, and if you really liked it, why not? Tell your friends, share on Facebook and comment profusely. Don't forget to stop by our Facebook page where we post every day, and visit our site where you can purchase our kick-ass t-shirts, spread the good word while supporting the cause. So I'm Custom Chaz, and I'll see you in the next episode of Roma Custom Bike.